The car was already totaled, yet the sheriff dared not leave, because outside were monsters disguised as humans. He could only rely on the talismans that kept evil at bay and pray he would live to see the morning. Just then, a sudden shout came from outside the car. It was the monster's way of luring humans, but the experienced sheriff wasn't fooled. Jim, however, was new to the town and couldn't sit still. He thought it was rescue workers and was about to open the door, but the sheriff immediately stopped him. He explained that those outside were not humans, but flesh-eating monsters. If Jim didn't want his son to be harmed, he had to stay inside the car until dawn, when the monsters would vanish on their own. Hearing this, Jim finally calmed down. For the safety of his son, he didn't take the risk. But what he didn't know was that an accident had already happened to his wife and daughter, who had gone back with the rescue team. Because the rescue vehicle suddenly broke down, they had no choice but to walk back to the safe house on foot. But now night had fallen, and the streets were full of man-eating monsters. When the people inside the safe house saw them approaching, they quickly raised the alarm. Everyone immediately went on high alert and refused to open the door no matter how hard the mother and daughter knocked. Because it was already nighttime, no one could be sure whether they were humans or monsters. What they didn't realize was that the real monsters had already arrived. A boy suddenly greeted Julie, calling out her name over and over. Julie's eyes went blank at once. She had clearly fallen under the monster's spell. Fortunately, the deputy sheriff acted quickly and shot the boy on the spot, but the bullet had no effect on him at all. Seeing the danger escalate, the female leader urgently ordered the bald man to open the door, and only then were the mother and daughter saved. But as soon as they entered, they were tied up, something every newcomer had to go through to prevent monsters from sneaking in. The mother and daughter were soon separated. The leader reassured the woman not to be afraid, explaining that everyone here had arrived in town by accident, and they were actually lucky, because some people showed up in the middle of the night without time to understand anything, and they were immediately torn apart by the monsters outside. But the woman wasn't worried about herself. Her concern was for her husband and son still trapped in the RV.